Involvement is beneficial at any college campus, but here at Westchester University, every student has their own definition of being involved. In this segment of This Westchester Life, we talk to a variety of students about how they got involved on campus, how involvement has affected their time at Westchester, and how their involvement will impact them in the future. We began with Daquan, an orientation leader on the front lines of involvement on this campus. As an orientation leader, Daquan guided students in their transition to college life.
I think one of the most important things about promoting involvement, especially in like first year students, as being an orientation leader, is definitely like having an involvement in an activity that you're passionate about or something that you want to do. It can definitely help you build skills that will help you later in the careers that you want to go to. But also, I feel like it builds sense of pride in your university. The first thing I got involved with is the WCU forensics team, and so that's the speech and debate team. And I did speech and debate in high school, looked at colleges that had speech and debate teams, and Westchester was one of them. And public speaking is one of my passions, and so I kind of just really loved being on the forensics team. And being on the forensics team, just improving my public speaking skills, having the opportunity to travel, all around the country and just see different places, visit different states, have the opportunity to compete with people from like Ivy League universities was really just like an eye-opening experience for me, and just really just like honing my public speaking skills, which is something that I really would like to do in whatever career I get into after college.
Our next guest for the show is a transfer student from Temple University. Colin offers a unique perspective on involvement here at Westchester compared to other local universities. His insight helps listeners understand Westchester involvement in a different light.
Okay, so I transferred from Temple University the first semester of my freshman year. I transferred because I wanted to change my major from journalism to education, but while I was at Temple, because I was a journalism major, I was involved in the student newspaper. And while that was a fun experience, I did not, because Temple's such a large school and because the newspaper had such a large staff, I didn't really get to connect or interact with many of my coworkers at time. I saw my editor maybe once or twice, and I rarely saw any of the other writers on the staff. So that was a little disappointing, but then I transferred to Westchester the following semester, and I got involved in a couple different activities, mainly the television station. And that was nice. I did see everyone who worked at the television station much more often because the group was smaller, the school itself is smaller, so not only would I see everyone in the group on a weekly basis doing different things, but I'd also see them outside of the group as well, just walking to class or around campus. My sophomore year of college, I decided that I was doing very well with my academics. I was only truly involved in one real organization, which was Student Outreach to Urban Schools. So I thought that I could add something on to my plate, and I thought, well, resident assistant, that's an extracurricular, that's a job, and it would be challenging, which would be an interesting experience. So I decided to apply for it. I got the job for the following year, and it has definitely been a valuable experience. Different aspects of the RA job actually run parallel with some of the requirements that I would have to meet as a teacher in the future. One of them being communication with your team, because I've realized that you need to basically be communicating with your coworkers on a daily basis, making sure that everyone's on task with maybe we're working on a project together or a huge building social, and making sure that you are utilizing your coworkers' help if you need it, and then at the same time making yourself available to your coworkers if they need help. I feel like that would definitely be an essential part to being a teacher.
One thing that can be found on almost any college campus is the aspect of Greek life. Caitlin is here to share with us how this is personal to Westchester University in their community involvement and fundraising.
When I first came to Westchester, I was really interested in actually giving tours, which as a freshman, you start out greeting the new families who come into Westchester. So what I decided to do was become a greeter for a semester, and I found that I really loved giving tours. I'm currently a tour guide still, so it's my third year giving tours of the campus. Although I was involved in tour guides, when it came time for my second year, I still felt like I was missing something. I still wanted to be involved in something bigger than myself. I was considering Greek life my first year, but I wasn't as motivated to join it as my second. I was going through a lot my first year, and after all of that happened, I decided I wanted to try something new. So when it came time for sorority recruitment, I decided to go out, and I can honestly say it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. At the end of recruitment, I decided to join Phi Mu, and now that I've been a part of my organization for about a year and a half, I've really grown not only as a leader, but within myself as well. I'm currently secretary of our chapter, so I've gotten a lot of experience through that. I've learned how to network with different chapters on campus, so that would be all of the different lettered organizations on campus. So we do a lot of different things. We do outreach with our philanthropy. Our personal philanthropy is Children's Miracle Network Hospitals. So we do fundraisers. We even get together with the other Greeks on campus and raise money for Camp Dreamcatcher, which is a camp for children who are either affected or infected by HIV and AIDS.
Many Westchester students believe that Greek life is isolated from other clubs and organizations, but Caitlin will go on to explain her opinion about the matter.
I have a lot of friends who are actually involved in a lot of different things, such as the radio or different events. I'm a part of the National Council of Teachers of English. I am also still involved in tour guides, and I was an orientation leader and will be this summer as well. So I feel like even though I am very involved in my sorority, that doesn't necessarily put me in a box. I can be involved in so many other things, and even some of my sisters have led me to meet new people and reach out to even more organizations. That all of our organizations span all over America, so I can meet new people, not only from Westchester, but all over the country as I continue my career and my future.
Being overly involved on campus can sometimes hurt rather than help a student's experience. Shannon is here to talk about how her first experience with involvement wasn't exactly the best.
In high school, I was really involved in marching band, and one of the hugest things in the area was the Westchester Marching Band, and it was like everybody knew about it, and so it was really exciting. After I got accepted to the school, the potential to be part of this marching band that just everybody knew about, and it was such a big deal. So as a freshman, I came early to campus, and I got really involved in the marching band, and I actually decided pretty quickly that I didn't like it very much. It was really time-consuming, and we practiced like 4 times a week, and it took up all my time, so that when my other friends and kids in my dorm were doing other things, I couldn't go hang out with them or join other involved activities, and I didn't have that much time for schoolwork. And it just wasn't a great experience for me, and so I didn't really like it that much, but it took up like 90% of my time freshman year. As a student at Westchester, I pay for most of the schooling myself. My parents aren't able to help me out very much, and I don't get a lot of financial aid, so I really struggled with marching band taking up all of my time and having not very much time for schoolwork, and then having no free time whatsoever, so I wasn't able to have a job while I was in marching band. So a huge plus side of getting out of marching band in the spring semester of my freshman year was I was able to get a job, and I was able to work at Applebee's as a waitress. It was very great because I could now afford to pay for books and stuff like that I needed and not have to worry about how it was going to affect my schoolwork. I think I'm definitely not one of the more involved students at Westchester due to the fact that I do have a job and I spend a lot of time doing that, but I'm able to find a good balance between being involved in some activities and still working. I am a member of the fencing club here at Westchester, which meets twice a week, and on some weekends we do competitions, and so it's a good way for me to still be involved and still meet people on campus and have that campus interaction, but also being able to find time to do other things like work and do schoolwork. And these are all things that I definitely did not have time for when I was super, super involved in marching band. So there's definitely different ranges of involvement that different students can have on campus, and it's about finding what works for you.
I'm on the pursuit of